Hello, welcome to Mr. Paul's Pantry. I'm Mr. Paul and it's a long time since I was here. Still got this, I'm afraid. Had my accident back in January and still not resolved. But I'm feeling a lot better, so I feel like I can manage a video today. Maybe a bit wobbly, but I'll give it a go. Well, very nice to see all you people, returning visitors, and if you're new, a very warm welcome to Mr. Paul's Pantry. Today I'm going to make something that's very, very hot here, by the way. At the moment it's 41 degrees outside in the shade and it's getting hotter. It's only just after 12 o'clock lunchtime, so it's going to get even hotter this afternoon. I'm not sure what the weather's like where you are, but I'm making myself a quiche today for lunch. And it's going to be just an ordinary, quick, simple cheese and onion quiche. It's the easiest cheese and onion quiche you're ever likely to make. So first of all, I'll show you the ingredients. So here are the ingredients, very, very simple. I've got one medium-sized onion. I've got 3 large eggs. I have put a chart on my website underneath the recipe. I think in America you call them extra large, but that's in Europe that's a large egg. I've got some cheddar cheese. I've got some butter. I've got some salt, some pepper, and some double cream. And you will need about 300 grams of shortcrust pastry. Now, for those people who don't like making their own pastry or don't feel confident making their own pastry, it's quite acceptable. If you want to try this quiche, then use some shop-bought pastry. It's very, very good these days and no one will mind. It'll just taste delicious. Right, these are the ingredients. I'll go through them again. I've got a medium-sized yellow onion. I've got 3 large eggs. I've got some butter, some cheddar cheese, some salt, some pepper, and some double cream. Now don't worry about the amounts, the quantities. It's all in the description underneath the video. You'll see where it says, just scroll down underneath the video and it will say show more. There will you see the ingredient list. If you want, you can go direct to my website at mrpaulspantry.com and you will see the list of ingredients there as well as the method. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, the very first thing we're going to do next is small pan. And we're going to add the butter into the small frying pan. To melt that down. Now it is quite a lot of butter, but that's what we need in this quiche. It's called a quiche, but I tend to think of it more as a cheese and onion tart because it's not very deep. I don't particularly like this kind of this variety, cheese and onion, deep. I like a deep quiche, but I like more substance in it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add the onions to the butter. And we need to gently cook those onions on a medium heat now until they're soft. Now a little tip here is, if you sprinkle a tiny amount of salt in there, just a tiny amount, that will prevent the onions browning. We want them translucent, we don't want them brown, or there'll all be little brown lumps, specks in the finished product. So we just want to put that in there like that. And I'm going to just gently cook those like that on a medium heat for about 3 to 4 minutes, as soon as the butter's all melted. So, come to the filling now, because the onions are cooked. I'll show you those in a moment. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the eggs to the bowl, and we're going to Give that a little mix, just break the yolks a little bit. We don't need to do much to this. Then we're going to add the cheese to this. And we're going to add the cream. And finally, the onions. Now there are the onions, you can see nicely softened. Together with all the butter, everything goes in there. Got a little mix. Make sure it's well mixed. I'm going to add a little salt now. Be careful with the salt because don't forget the cheese is already salty. Now I'm adding pepper here. I'm using white pepper. I prefer to use white pepper for this as opposed to black pepper. I think it gives a nicer flavour and I just prefer it. You can use whichever you want. Just give that a good mix now. Now that's probably a little warm because the onions are still a little warm. So we're going to put that to one side and we're going to do the pastry case now. Now when it comes to pastry cases, you can use whatever container, baking tin you like. You can use one like this with a loose bottom. You can use one like this, the pie dish. Or you can use something like this, just a little deeper. These are a little bit shallow, I think, for this particular kit. I don't like them too deep, but this is just a nice size, okay? So the next thing we're going to do is to get the pastry going. So, gently drop that into the corner of the dish. Make sure there's no air underneath it. Like that. Now I'm going to trim it around like this. Give it another shuffle and then just give it a little fancy crimp on top just to make it look nice. Just with your finger and thumb. It's not important that because it will shrink as we cook. Now we come to the filling. So the filling is going to go straight in. Now I haven't chopped my onions very fine because I like a little texture in there. This is going to go nicely there. That's beautiful. And that's going to go in the oven now at 190 for about, what, 30 minutes? We'll look at it at 25, okay? I'll pop that in the oven and I'll see you shortly. Well, here it is, straight from the oven, piping hot. And as soon as it's cool, I'll cut it and show you inside it. And here we are. There's a beautiful piece of my cheese and onion quiche. Absolutely beautiful. Well, that's all we have time for this week. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'm sorry if it's a bit wobbly in parts, but I have done my best. I'm going now to enjoy a piece of this with my lunch with a little salad. Don't forget, if you've enjoyed it, go underneath, give it a thumbs up, then I know you've enjoyed it. If you have any comments, suggestions or questions, leave them underneath the video. I do read every single one, and I try to answer as many as I possibly can. So for now, this is Mr. Paul saying bye for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.